We'll continue to bring you the latest from the Republic Day parade right here in the Indian national capital. For now, let's bring you other updates from around the globe. US President Joe Biden will soon dispatch one of his most trusted and potentially influential officials to Europe. According to reports, CIA Director Bill Burns will travel for a fourth round of multi-party talks in the hopes of brokering a broadened deal to release the hostages who are still held captive in Gaza by Hamas. Burns is expected to meet in France with David Barnier, the head of Israel's Mossad intelligence agency, and Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani. Egyptian intelligence chief Abbas Kamel is also said to be involved in the talks. All four have engaged in previous rounds of negotiations aimed at freeing hostages in exchange for an end to hostilities, a principal demand made by Hamas militants. The CIA has declined to comment on Burns' travel schedule, which is said to be classified. This is not the first time Burns has travelled abroad as part of an effort to secure the release of the remaining hostages. In November, he visited Doha twice. The CIA director is not the only US top official who is going to hold talks about the ongoing war in Gaza. America's national security advisor is also on his way to Thailand to meet China's foreign minister. Jake Sullivan is expected to raise recent Houthi attacks on ships in the Red Sea with Wang Yi. And ahead of Sullivan's meetup with China's Wang Yi, reports suggest that Chinese officials have asked their Iranian counterparts to help rein in attacks on ships in the Red Sea by the Iran-backed Houthis. If they are not able to do that, then Tehran may risk harming business relations with Beijing. The latest possible talks follow as the International Court of Justice will hand out its landmark interim ruling in the genocide case that has been brought against Israel. The interim ruling will indicate if the ICJ will order for emergency measures sought by South Africa to restrain the Israeli offensive in Gaza. There are also reports emerging that say that the US has created a channel with Israel to discuss concerns over incidents in Gaza in which civilians have been killed or injured by the Israeli military, and about the civilian facilities that have been targeted by the Israeli Defense Forces. The channel was set up after a meeting earlier this month between US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Israel's war cabinet, during which Blinken expressed concerns about the constant reports of Israeli strikes that either hit humanitarian sites or resulted in large numbers of civilian deaths. Our correspondent Susan Teherani from New York tells us more on the advancements in Gaza. And Susan brings you the latest on this. Listen in.
William Burns is expected to discuss a potential deal between Israel and Hamas for the release of hostages, as well as some sort of ceasefire, negotiated settlement of some sorts. Now, these negotiations between Burns and others may influence the ICJ court case, as a ceasefire would address major humanitarian concerns driving the case. But success is anything but inevitable, so we'll have to wait and see.